This is Show versus Business. Hey, we got a good one for you today. This is going to be about Prada. The Devil Wears Prada, actually. In fact, The Devil Wears Prada 2, the sequel. We're going to talk about that one in a minute. We're going to go ahead and react to it. Classic old movie they're bringing back. Theo, I didn't even see this one coming. Did you know about this?
I heard rumors that they're going to bring it back. I mean, they bring back everything, so why wouldn't they bring back The Devil's Wears Prada? Didn't really need a sequel, I guess. Just everybody's, 20 years older. My wife and I recently had a chance to rewatch the original. It's still a pretty good movie. I mean, I must admit, it holds up pretty well. I mean, Meryl Streep was in her bag with that character, based on a true, I think, Anna Wintour, I think famously the editor of I want to say Vogue magazine back in the day, or still is now. So it's supposed to be true to life a little bit, but I think it does, warrant some look into because magazines are just not as powerful anymore, especially fashion magazines. So I wanted to kind of see what angle they're going to go with this model, but this version. But what about you? Are you a fan of Devil Wears Prada?
Oh man, I love Devil Wears Prada, man. I'm clearly out of my fashion vibe, but for a while I was into it. Was rocking 35 pairs of shoes, had like the special edition hundreds streetwear, had some Bape stuff going on.
Nice.
I was in there. It's art adjacent, so the fashion world is fun. Now I just show up to an art show with some gray sweats, looking like the art bum, and that's like, hey, look at that guy. It's like, yeah, I'm the art bum. I'm clearly above all of you because I don't have to worry about fashion anymore. That's the angle.
I love it. Yeah, I've never been too much in fashion. I just like every quarter or maybe around Christmas time, I go buy some stuff. I say, oh, that looks pretty cool. Or I see something online. I kind of get a sense of that. True story. I am looking at getting a stylist. I'm starting to speak more and going to in-person events, and so yeah.
It's a whole ride, man. It's a whole ride.
What color I need, what's my color scheme, what kind of outfit looks good for my body type, all that stuff. So I'm excited about that part.
All right. I'm gonna tell you a story about time I ran into a guy wearing a Chanel that kind of blew my mind. I'll tell you about it after the reaction. But you ready for this one though?
I'm ready, man.
All right. Well, this is the official reaction for The Devil Wears Prada 2, and we're gonna start it right now. Hey.
Runway. It's not just a magazine. It's a global icon. A winding road that brings us back together again.
Hello?
Well, look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
Sorry.
Hey.
Who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her?
I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea.
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
Am I having a hallucination? Hi, Emily.
You also know her?
We were at Runway at the same time, Miranda.
Really? Where was I?
Where would you like to start?
I am the new Features editor at Runway.
No, you are not.
Yeah, we are all so thrilled.
You know what's funny is you've changed. You have. You're much more confident. Kept those eyebrows, though, didn't you?
Okay. Just throwing a little slam here and there. I like it. You know what? As much as I want to slam on it, it just did its job, man. I don't know.
It did?
To me, it did. It did a very simple, just, hey, here's some of the images, here's some one-liners, but for the most part, we're just going to show you some fashion. We're going to show you a throwback. We're going to bring back the music, your favorite characters, Emily. I mean, the Emily joke ran for the whole thing pretty much. It's like, yeah, just give them that. They'll be fine. That's what I got from it.
For me, it seems like just more of the same, which, that's what you want from your sequel. So I think that's what everybody is kind of hype about. Just everybody just older. And so but they're just bigger scale, which is fine. Definitely like the looks and icons and all that kind of stuff. Great. I think something that people are excited about. But yeah, hope it's just not the same kind of, recycled kind of storytelling, right? Because the original was really insightful about just what it means, if you're not in that world, it really kind of brought a sense. Remember that scene when she was like, say, so you see that sweater you're wearing? This would happen like 2 years ago before you even thought about wearing that sweater, right? It was at a runway and they thought about this and they put this together. And then next thing you know, it was on the rack at TJ Maxx and you bought it, right? And it was that color is this type of color and it was decided by people in this room. And so it was just like, that to me was like interesting and fascinating. So I'll be curious to see what they have to say about it now. Obviously, every actress in this movie, has gone on to do bigger things. Emily Blunt, I guess at the time she was, just a new actress, and now she is, I guess married to John Krasinski, and she's, big time actress, I guess if you will, hanging with The Rock. So she's on the same level. Anne Hathaway was already kind of known a little bit, and of course, Meryl Streep. I mean, she just does what she does for like she's just the 70s, man. How old is Meryl Streep, man? Geez, she's got to be. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to look it up.
Looking the same. Got to give
mean,
it to her skincare specialist.
76 years old. 76 years old. Yeah, she's been doing it since the 70s, guys.
Did they?
She graduated from Yale University 50 years ago, and I know that because it was 1975. So yes, she's been in this game for a while.
Did they age her up a little bit in the first movie?
They may have, but I think because of the style with the glasses and the updo, maybe the age, you can't really tell the age too much as long as you keep the forehead, Botox down, you'll be all right. So, yeah, man, the first one was fun. So I was surprised how good it was when I watched it all those years later recently. So, it does hold up, and it looks like it's directed by the same person that did the original one. So, yeah, should be more of the same. I think some people are excited. It sounds like some people, excited about it on this channel. So I love it.
Yeah, 11 million views already. And it says they've got the same studio, director, writer, producer, cinematographer, composer. This is that's so Paris Fashion Week way of doing things. Just, hey, get that guy back, get him back, get her back, bring them back. It's just like get that whole vibe. Everybody's hype, and then see where you can go from there.
Yeah.
Interesting play. I like it though.
People are hyped. They said, "Please don't flop. Please don't flop." What else? They say, yeah.
Somebody's into Coco Chanel. Yeah, let me tell that story real quick because this is when I was starting to touch in on fashion and just realizing and we were talking off air. We were talking about the networking, right, and the possibilities of getting around networking. So I was in San Diego, Rockstar San Diego, working there at the time, and it was crazy because there was so much going on and all these people were coming down to check out the game and talking to different people. And I ran into this one guy, and I won't name his name this time. Ran to this one guy, and we were talking, and it was just kind of a networking session, and we were hanging out. When you do you're at work and you're doing business, but you kind of want to get to know everybody. So there's this, hey, let's talk and kind of get to know each other thing. What are you about? And I heard he rides horses, and just connecting, right? I had nothing to say to anybody. I was just like, yo, let's get back to the game, man. We got work to do. What is this? And then dude like did his arms like that. And I noticed he had this watch on, and I was like, what kind of watch is that? And he's like, he like leaned forward, was like, oh, you like that? And it was like one of the premier ceramic watches by Chanel. And it was all white. It just had this look that nobody had at the time. A ceramic watch, looking really nice. And the fact that I pointed out and it was Chanel and it actually meant something, he started to key into me. And he was like, yeah, so this is this. And I got it from this. And I was at this show, da-da-da. And this was before the watch game like really blew up, right? Because everybody's talking about these fancy watches now and everything. And I was like, and we just had this conversation about watches for a long time. And I was realizing how, like, remember when in the famous scene where he connected the blue to TJ Maxx and all that, and you know, in the Devil Wears Prada, this guy started connecting the Chanel watch to the fact that enabled him to be at this show with these people, and he met them, and he was like, yeah, and da 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 da. A guy gives you a gift like that, it's kind of a ticket. And I was like, a ticket? Is like, yeah, we've already got a kinship together because only 50 of these watches ever made it out. And it's like, huh, interesting. So it's kind of this class and club thing that was going on where you're in this clique. And I started using that with my fashion at the time. As I said, I was into it all.
Oh, interesting. So it's a it did work, basically. Is that correct? So being able to have this fashion kind of was a conversation starter, but also kind of like a wink wink, like a secret handshake, if you will, right? For certain people that were in the know, and they kind of allowed you to get access to people that maybe you couldn't get access to. Is that what fashion allowed you to do, you think?
Well, it just gave me, like, well, you know how sports is a connection. You know, some you talk about sports and it's like, hey, I was at saw the game, and they get into it. They're like, oh yeah, you're at the game, da da da. I'm friends with the road manager, and really, and da da. And you start talking about sports in the game. This is just a different type of game. You know what I mean? And it connects a lot to the art world, fashion, music. That all kind of runs together and connects. So what I'm seeing from like the comments already in the Devil Wears Prada 2, it's like that same kind of thing. It's really cool.
Okay. Man, no. So definitely, I think when I thought about the Devil's Prada, kind of this is the show versus business podcast, guys. And so this is something that I'm super excited about, just understanding new business types, right? And Devil Wears Prada kind of brought me into the fashion world, understanding, how they run their business. Kind of corollary to this is Disney with all the moves that they've been making lately. Did you hear that Disney has a new CEO that was announced this week? We talked about Kathleen Kennedy on this show before and what happened there, Lucasfilm. But yeah, did you know who the new CEO, this Josh DeMario, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company? Interesting choice. I'll tell you in a little bit why. But what are your thoughts about Disney is finally moving on from a Bob? Finally,
No more Bobs. Who is this guy? I know nothing about this dude. I'm looking at his picture right now. He seems like a happy guy, but more salesy than usual. I don't know. Yeah, Diamaro will take over. He's just another guy to me. I know nothing about this dude.
yeah. I mean, he's been in Disney for a long time, and he actually came from the Parks and Cruises division. So it was between him and Dana Walden, and Dana came from the entertainment side, like TV shows, streaming. So now they were both vying for this top position, to take over from a Bob Iger in this case. And Josh won it over her. So you would think, oh, I thought, she's a creative executive. She works with a lot of actors and actresses, the directors. Wouldn't she get it, right? Isn't Disney's business all about IP, right?
In
New
the media right now?
characters and all that, huh?
In the media?
Yeah, in the media, right? You would think that she would get it, right? Because she was the person. But no. Mr. Benja, do you know how much Disney makes in parks and in cruises a year?
I know it's a lot. Tell me how off the mark I am.
Just guess, man. What is how much are they making, as a business?
I mean, like in terms of like I don't even know how to rank this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good metric for it.
Got you. So if you look at their fiscal year, right?
Tens of billions a year.
You got it.
Billion, yeah.
It's they record 10 billion operating income. on roughly 36 billion. So basically, they make 6 billion in revenue, and 10 billion of that they gotta use for operating costs. A good 40 something, almost close to 40% of that is coming from parks and cruises alone. So that means all the parks and all that. And if anybody who's been to the parks knows why. You go to the park, everything is costing you for anything. If you want an extra bag of popcorn, that's going to extra 10 cents for you, right? If you want soda drink, they're going to charge you for that, right? If you want to get into the park early, they're going to charge you for that. If you want to stay later, they charge you for that. It's just like, if you go to the park, it is like a cash cow for them. They can turn on the spigot whenever they need money, anytime in the parks. And in cruises is similar, right? I mean, think about, if you've ever been on a cruise, have you ever thought about like how you're locked into the ecosystem? So basically, you can't buy drinks. Yes, they give you food, but if you want to buy alcohol, they're gonna charge you extra for that. The taxes on that, the tips that you have to pay, the merch. If you want to spend time with Mickey hanging out with a brunch, that's gonna cost you money. So he is just cash cow for them right now, and it just made sense. Whereas, yes, the character, creating new characters is important, all that. But I think even under Bob Iger, from a business standpoint, he's shown that IP can be bought.
And you know what? This actually ties into the whole getting back to physical that we've been seeing trending lately, where people want that in-person experience. It's like, hey, I'm not necessarily going to Starbucks to drink Starbucks, but I need a place, to not sit in front of my computer. I want to go to the Habit Burger and hang out. I want to actually go to an event space just because there's an event going on. I want to touch grass, right? So
touch grass. I love it.
I love that phrase too. So
me too.
I don't
just touching grass, man. I just want to get down to the
what is this feeling? Grass. Yeah. So I think that maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe a part of that play, because with all these other companies that Disney owns and controls, it's like, okay, we have media on lock already. Do we need more of that? Or do we just push more into the physical world? And tying this back into fashion, they have a new vice president. One of their, not, I shouldn't call him, should you say a vice president? Well, a new director of a new title that they didn't have before, as a director of merch. So there's one guy that's entirely responsible for merch, like the clothing, the hats, the accessories, jackets, and things like that. And it's Bobby Hundreds from the Hundreds clothing line that I mentioned earlier before. So they pulled a guy from streetwear fashion to be this new creator of merch. And that just recently happened. And now they're starting to push for better physical experiences, physical goods. Just an interesting connection there too.
It does make sense. But I want to get into these numbers more, so I want to get some clarity on that. So yeah, 10 billion in 3 months. That's how much they made. 72%. I said 40 something. It's 72% came from parks and cruise line. Now this is different because for a long time, the majority of the profits came from television and was the main source of revenue. So this is the first time this is flipped completely over. So that goes to show you that the money is in the parks, and that's why they need a CEO who understood that, as opposed to an IP person or a person who understands entertainment, because that is now their profit, their experiences line, right? I guess that's what you would call it. Like you said, touch grass, right? People want that more now, as opposed to and that goes to show you that, wow, man. So Disney is no longer seeing original characters as like their growth engine, right? IP ownership is not what it used to be. It's really about those in-person experiences. So yeah, man, this is insightful. So you see a company like that, making a choice on who they want their leader to be for their company, is about someone who understands what it means to kind of squeeze every little bit out of that experience, right? And like I was telling you before, you go to any of their in-person events, like the parks or cruises, they will be charging you for everything. And so we just talked about this before this podcast, right? About how I'm starting to go out there more. You just talked about going to art show, right? In person. I think that's what people are thriving for. I'm another thing, I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but I'm seeing the rise of people going to Eventbrite more. I thought it was just me, but I was talking to everybody at these events, And they like, I said, how'd you find about this event? Oh, I went to Eventbrite. It's like, that is kind of like, remember Meetup back in the day? That's still around, but Eventbrite, people are looking for these in-person kind of connections. And sometimes they don't know who to talk to, or, so they just go to Eventbrite and find something local and they'll show up. And you'd be surprised, man.
No, I'm looking at I haven't been to Eventbrite in ages, like as a website, just as my first location, eventbrite.com. And this is interesting. It's got a new look from when I last remember it.
Yeah, go check it out, man. I think you'll be surprised at how many different events. If you want to party, hang out, cool. But if there's like so many events, I mean, I put my in-person event on there and it got some hits. So it's like the central. If you want local events and meeting people in person, Eventbrite is starting to become the centralized location.
Instagram should steal this.
Well, they probably have. And then, it's just Instagram is just so much other stuff on there. And it's just hard to get that local experience. Because the challenge with, live events, they only are one place. So, if you're traveling, if you live in Tampa, but you see an event in Orlando, more likely you may not show up. So Instagram could be all over the place with that, with the algorithm.
Well, you know how they've been trying to do the whole, geo mapping thing, and nobody wants to like turn on their location for all these photos anymore.
Exactly.
So there's been pushback. So I figure someone's in some room and at the Meta offices trying to figure it out.
I'm sure they will, but they probably got other fish to fry with AI slop. That becomes the number one thing they want to do right now. So anyway, man, that was good. Anything else you want to talk about on the Devil Wears Prada or just business and fashion in general?
No, it just takes me back to the time where I, blew all my money on stupid ass shoes. So it was, yeah.
I knew, but I didn't know. So thank you for sharing that with me, man. So
no, I didn't blow my money. I had rock star money at the time.
You don't know he was a living rock star, guys. We'll talk about that on another show.
Yeah. But no, that's all I got for this one. It's good stuff. Before we continue, I just wanted to go back and recut in this little bit about our grade. We forgot to do the grade, so we're coming back in to cut in the grade for Devil Wears Prada 2. Thanks for the reminder, Theo. What you got?
Yeah, solid B for me. I think it hit, it's kind of just above passing because it shows just more on a grander scale, the same thing. But I'm not getting a sense of, what the story, where is it going and that. And it's just like more of the same. I'm not intrigued enough. It's like, I just really gotta love the characters. Maybe that's enough. So I don't know. So because I've seen too many times where it's just like, here, we're going to have more fun. We're going to run it back. And then you go to watch the movie. It's like, oh, this is not good. I just want to see, just some strange B plot about, I was married. Now I'm divorced. I'm dealing with, I want to see that. I just want to see, I want to see something interesting. So I don't know. I didn't get a sense of that from the movie that they're really going, I'm sure they will, but they probably should have angled it that way. It's like, the fashion industry has changed. I thought it was like Andy's coming back and she was going to like, she was going to take over Runway and like, move it into the future. I thought that would be an interesting angle because it would have kind of give us perspective. But it seems like she's just like a editor of, features like in a magazine. So I hope they're going to get into some of that to kind of really reflect that, but I don't know. So I'm sure they'll talk about sprinkling in, but I don't think that's the overarching thesis of this. This one is just like, hey, we got the band all together. So that's it.
Yeah, I struggle on this one, whether to give it a B plus or an A minus. But I think the fashion bit of it and the vapid nature of fashion is just like, hey, this is all fluff and glitz, and if it has anything behind it, we'll get to that later. So just based on that and what they showed us, I think that's very intentional with the stupid ass Emily joke and the, it worked for what it did. So I'm gonna give it an A minus.
Okay. Yeah. There it is. The grades.
Yes. All right. So now we got the grades done. Thank you for that, James.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for listening. This is what we do, talk about the show side and the business side, how they come together. So if you like this type of stuff, please like, subscribe, and comment at Show versus Business on X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Go visit us at our website at Show versus Business to learn more about us.
Peace.